I believe that we should be able to finish this today. I'm going to try my darndest to do so. So we should be able to see the ending of Tangle Tower today. Figure out what how this weird locked room mystery came to be. So we're going to switch right to the game. There we go. Get it up here. There we go. Good stuff. Don't forget the Mario time. Yes, we're going to do the Mario time right away before I forget. So just look at the title screen for 2 seconds and I'll switch over. Here we go. So, I'm going to turn the desktop audio off. So, yeah, if you're new here, Mario time is where I pick more or less at random an item from my Mario collection, which is right behind the camera. So I reach behind and get a Mario thing, and then I show it. That's literally it. So I'm gonna see. I'm gonna reach behind a little bit, and I'm gonna grab. I'm gonna grab this one. I like this one. This is part of a set, and if we get another Mario time later, I'll do the other one. But this is part of a set. Now this one I like a lot. Well, if you've heard me talk about my Mario figurines before, then you will know that one thing that I value is that they are good molds, and that they are. I appreciate them when they're close to renders. This is a fairly. This isn't close to a specific render. It kind of is. I think this is meant to be. There is one that is sort of similar to this, but it's not an exact replica. But the mold is really good, and this one is really heavy. I think this might even be meant to be a paperweight, because this base here is very, very heavy, very solid. But it's just got a really, really nice mold in it. Can we get a... There we go. You got all the lovely little details on his clothes, on his gloves. The paint on his face is really good. It's exactly what you want. There you go. It's a little bit on the hat there, but honestly I don't mind it. It's not really something I worry too much about. I think for me as well with Mario figurines, that is very important to me is that they actually model the seams on his overalls. And I don't know why I care about that, but for me it's almost like that's indicative of the effort and the amount of detail they've put in, and they've done it really well here. So you can see there on his ass that they modeled that perfect. There we go, really well done there. So I really like this one. There is a second one of Luigi, and if we get another Mario time later, I'll show that one off. But for now, this one goes back. And if you joined us to watch Tangle Tower, then wait no longer, because we're now switching over back to the game. You're a huge Mario fan. That's really good. That is really good. I love to see it. I've only played one Mario game on the stream. We did 6 months ago on my birthday. I played all of Super Mario 64. But I've been kind of wanting to be thinking about playing the 2D games, like going back to the old NES and SNES games. That would be really fun, because those are, I mean, they're like they're stone cold classics, but I haven't played them for a long time, so I'm kind of curious. But enough about that. Is the sound all right with the game sound and my mic? Does it all sound okay? And if I can get a confirmation on that, I would really appreciate it. But otherwise, we're gonna get cracking. Yeah, time to lurk. I'll see you in a bit. So I'm going to start again. I'm going to make sure that I can see the chat, which I can. And here we go. Right, so we left off. We left off with a couple of people that we're able to interrogate. So I'm just going to double check who we've got. Yeah, so we can interrogate here, and there are 2 that we're still waiting on, because I think we interrogated half of the cast so far. If you need a little refresher on where we're at, then please ask about it in the chat, but otherwise I'm just going to carry on. But if there's anything you're curious about, you want me to clarify, then please let me know. But we're about to call you out on being sus as hell.
So, about this paint we found in your room.
Nothing suspicious about it. I used it to paint, obviously. Totally normal thing to do.
We never said it was suspicious.
Come on then, out with it. What exactly are you accusing me of?
It's not your paint pot. It has the wrong lid on it. It's not the right color. I'm gonna go if it's not your paint
It's
pot.
not your paint pot. Did you take it from somewhere else?
What on earth? It's definitely mine. I even have proof. Look, the lid matches the ones on all my other paint pots. End of discussion.
That's not the end of the discussion.
We need a clue to compare with Felix's red paint. Something to prove who it actually belongs to.
Well, we do actually have that, because, see if I can find it, we got Freya's paints. Now, if you'll notice, the reason here is that this one here, the bottle doesn't match the other bottles, even though the lids do. Because he made a point to mention the lid.
Let's take a closer look at this.
So that's what we're going to call him up. Freya's red paint pot.
Freya's red paint pot was stolen and replaced with Felix's red paint pot, but the lids were swapped to hide it.
That red paint is from Freya's supplies, not yours. Swapping the lids doesn't hide what you did.
Why are you bothering me about paint anyway? And none of this is connected to your murder.
Oh, but it is, Felix. So, the red paint pot was somehow filled with blood.
This red paint pot was somehow
Hello,
filled with
welcome back.
blood before Freya used it to paint Flora.
Oh, that's definitely something. Right, fine. Here's the story. I was busy working on a project when I suddenly realized I had run out of red paint. There was a certain amount of time pressure, so I politely asked Freya if I could borrow hers. Just for a little while, you know, perfectly reasonable request.
But she said no.
I tried to explain why I needed it, but she didn't seem to care. So, well, I took Freya's red paint pot and swapped it with my own empty one.
You went into her room?
Not my proudest moment, but it's just paint. I didn't touch anything else.
And the paint pot you left behind was definitely empty?
Quite. I have absolutely no idea how it got blood in it, if that's what you're asking.
Why were you in such a hurry to get a hold of red paint anyway?
I was trying to finish this in time for Flora's birthday.
Hmm.
I needed red to paint the final details.
Could you not have just used a different color?
Out of the question. It had to be red and white.
If you managed to finish it, why haven't you given it to Flora yet?
Well, I decided against it in the end. After what happened, seemed a bit insensitive.
Also, it had kind of a wholesome reason, after all, but we did learn about the what happened with the paint, but now we're gonna do an interesting interrogation, because we're gonna talk to Flora. Well, talk is a strong word, but we'll see if we get anything out of her.
This painting, specifically that knife in Flora's hand.
Yeah, it's creepy. But we didn't find a knife anywhere in the room. So what's going on?
It's not a knife. The knife is still in this room. The knife was taken by the murderer. Well, we're actually gonna do a little bit of Crocodile Dundeeing, because we're gonna say, well, that's not a knife.
We need a clue to compare with the painting. Something to explain what that knife shape actually is.
And I believe, let's see if I can find it. Yes, we're looking For the bird book.
Let's take a closer look at this.
The painted knife is actually just a feather from an ink dip bird.
The painted knife is actually just a feather from an ink dip bird.
It's definitely the right shape, but the book's not in color. The thing Flora's holding in the painting is red and white, specifically. Is there anything to suggest that the ink dip bird is red and white too?
You totally do. I believe it says, but we're gonna... Oh yeah, here we go.
This little thing? I don't understand why Felix would make a model of this bird as part of a gift for Flora. And come to think of it, why would Flora be holding a feather in the painting anyway?
I believe this is right.
The ink dip
There we go.
was Flora's pet, so she kept a single feather to remember it by.
She kept the bird as a pet. And it died?
Maybe it flew away.
Flora spends all her time staring out the window.
Either way, she kept the feather. I think it was pretty important to her.
All right. So she was holding the feather while Freya was painting her. But where is it now? You'd think she'd keep it somewhere close by.
Yeah, I think she does. Normally. This is where Flora usually keeps her feather.
Well, we did find something that was suspiciously empty.
But we opened it. It's empty.
Mm-hmm. Completely empty. Flora? She's pointing at something in the corner of the room.
It's just a pile of books. They're not... Wait, there's something tucked inside this one.
Flora's drawings. Drawings of Flora and a small bird. There's a handwritten message on the back. These are for you. Love, Freya.
Let's go over what we know about the crime scene.
Let's.
We know a little more about the crime scene now. So, what do you think? Was Freya stabbed by her own painting?
So, now we're gonna kind of collect our thoughts about the crime scene. So...
Blood from the paint pot was used to paint the red tip of the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife.
I think you're right. Can't decide if I'm disappointed or relieved.
I have a question. Why?
Either it's a very strange coincidence, or somebody set it up.
Somebody deliberately put blood in the paint pot and hid that feather after the crime. Why? To distract us?
Possibly.
Well, it worked.
Possibly.
Flora's the only person who could have hidden the feather, unless someone took it from her.
Let's go over what we do know. The door was locked the whole time. It stayed locked until Fitz kicked it down. Normally, it can only be opened from the inside. Pointer said he couldn't see Freya from his telescope, but he did see Flora lying by the window.
So whatever got Freya got Flora too?
Except Flora survived. She didn't get a stab wound like Freya did.
Hold on. If there was no knife, then what did stab Freya?
It could be anything. It might not even be important.
How is it not important?
Right now, I'm less interested in the what, and more interested in the how.
The angle of Freya's wound suggests she was stabbed at a perfect right angle. That is, from directly in front of her. but she was standing right up by the canvas.
Somehow, Freya ended up lying on her back, still perfectly in line with a painting.
Maybe something went through it.
Through the painting? Wouldn't that leave a hole?
Okay, well, how about this? How do we know Freya was stabbed before she fell over? Maybe her being stabbed and her falling over are completely unrelated.
Well, that's a lot to think about. Like the chat right now are just making sounds. But yeah, we're kind of getting to the bottom of this mystery. But look, there's something in this scene that was not in the scene before. Yes, the hole in the attic floor. Very astute observation. We can make another astute observation here.
This wasn't here before.
What is it?
It's a little wooden toy. Looks kind of like a crab.
There's a note stuck to the back.
What does it say? Grimoire?
This is my new friend. He likes music. Simple melodies will move his soul. Best of luck, you two. Freya. Okay. So, the murder victim has just given us this amazingly cute little crab friend that has a weird Rorschach-y thingy in it.
What do you think? Is it really from her?
How can it be?
Why don't we check the handwriting with Freya's diary?
Good idea. Hold on.
Well,
It's a perfect match.
well, it's confirmed. We have a ghost helping us.
Let's keep this to ourselves for now.
What about the little wooden toy thingy?
Maybe we can put it to some kind of use.
Maybe we can. Yep, it's ghost time. Unfinished business. Right, so it mentioned that the little friend likes music. And we know a couple of places where we can hear music. But first, I think we're going to do a quick little round to just run all the clues, the new clues by people. Because we found a couple more.
Diary. Have you read it?
Not yet. It's locked.
And you haven't attempted to force it open?
That would be cheating.
This is a potential murder weapon, is it not?
I don't know. I don't think the murderer would leave the murder weapon just lying around.
I think you'd be surprised as to what people leave lying around. Do you also have a pile of leaves as a clue?
Oh, not yet. Did you see some suspicious leaves?
I love her. She gets really angry.
One of 3 statues depicting the same creature. This one is wearing headphones. Perhaps they belong to someone who likes music.
They're not headphones. They're earmuffs for blocking out sound.
Perhaps they belong to someone who doesn't like music. What is that?
I'm not sure. It looks like it attaches to something else.
Why don't you go back and double-check the area you found it? Maybe you'll find the rest of the something else.
I'm not so sure about that.
Does Flora still own that bird? Do you know?
Don't think so. The drawings are from a few years ago.
I see.
Is that a clock?
If it is, it's a clock with 4 faces.
I'm guessing it doesn't tell the time.
So what does it do?
Rotate the dials until all 4 hands are in the correct position. Yeah, this is a little bit of a tricky one. Because one of these moves all the others. Or a couple of the others. These kinds of puzzles, I just kind of faff around with until I get it right, honestly. So... heads. We want that one to be... Oh, we're all right, apart from this one. No, those two are right. God damn it. Oh, that's so close. I've got 3 of them right now. Yeah, very good sound design in this game, just in general, I think.
Nope.
So it's like cogs on a machine.
Oh god, I keep getting 3 of them right. Because this one's meant to be 3, this one's meant to be 9, that's meant to be 12, that's meant to be 6.
I guess
Did
that's
you work
each
Each one ends with a little hoop.
Oh gosh. Oh,
That's the one.
there we go.
Hey, not bad. What's in the box?
A little tool thing? Looks like a telescope. But I'm not actually sure what it is.
A small lens, a small brass tool with a curved glass lens. It has a screw at the base. What's this thing? What's this thing?
This belongs to you, Hawkshaw?
Correct.
And, what is it?
It's my handheld microscope for up-close investigation work.
What do you magnify with it?
Trace particles, dust, oils, clothing fibers.
Have you used it here at Tangle Tower?
I have. I used it to examine the greenhouse only 2 days ago.
What were you looking for?
That is between myself and my client.
A little bit suspicious, I think. Everyone's so suspicious, apart from one person.
Looks like someone doesn't want you to read that book.
That's the main thing making me want to read it.
It's boy time.
Yeah,
Do you use it?
I keep all my tools in the greenhouse.
That wasn't what she asked.
No, not getting an
We
answer.
found these up in the rooftop garden. Do you know how long they've been there?
No, could have been a long time. We don't ever really clear up the rooftop garden.
Why not?
Nature is unruly. In truth, it prefers to be left alone. Wait, those are mine, the earmuffs. They went missing about a week ago.
What do you need earmuffs for?
I use them for gardening sometimes.
Why? You don't own a chainsaw, do you?
No, I wear them while I'm gardening and it stops people from trying to talk to me.
That's genius.
That actually does work.
I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
Me 3. Oh, sorry. I thought you said me too.
Did Freya draw these?
Yeah. There's a note on the back too.
She was even closer to Flora than I realized.
You ever seen this before, Fitz?
No, but I don't normally go into Fifi's room.
That's not where we found it.
Oh, I just thought it looks like it belongs to her.
There's something about the report of Fitz going up Pointer Tower. Something suspicious.
I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to call the boy sus. It's time. It's big boy sus time.
So, Fitz, I have a report that you were
No.
sneaking up Pointer Tower. Holding a knife.
That's not right. I don't go into Pointer Tower. I don't own a knife. And I don't sneak. Was it Fifi who told you this?
How did you know that?
A guess. She doesn't like me very much. But yeah, she was mistaken. Maybe she wasn't wearing her eye lens thing.
What do you think, Grimoire?
Fifi did see Fitz, but he was holding something else.
So, if it wasn't a knife, what was it?
I'm not sure which one to present here. This one, maybe?
What about this?
Ah, that.
Is it yours?
It was a gift. It's sentimental. I have no reason to take it up Pointer Tower. I don't use it at all.
Don't remember what exactly we're saying here, so... I think it's this one. Yes, it's the... There we go, I think. There we go.
Is used by Fitz to look after a potted flower in Penny's room.
That flower.
Yes.
I've never seen it before.
We need a clue to compare to that flower. Something that proves its connection to Fitz.
Well, I think we're showing just the normal potted flower
Let's
here.
take a closer look at these.
I believe it. Well, yeah, we were kind of on the same... we were kind of arrived there at the same time. I say the pot and soil. And Penny's room matches pot and soil. Found in Fitz's
The pot and
greenhouse.
soil in Penny's room matches the pot and soil found in Fitz's greenhouse. Let me guess. Penny's flower was originally a gift from you, Fitz. There's no way it's a coincidence.
No way what's a coincidence.
The flower. It looks exactly like Penny.
It took me a long time to breed. I wanted the colors to be exactly right.
That's some gift.
Turns out Penny isn't particularly interested in looking after plants. So I go into her room every now and again. When she's not there, water the flower, change the soil. Just trying to keep it alive.
Like a metaphor or something. Huh? Almost like it's a metaphor for something. What could it possibly mean? One of you is not particularly interested. in keeping the flower alive, but one of you is putting in a lot of effort to try to keep it alive. But you don't recognize the effort and don't appreciate it. That can't possibly be indicative of something larger. Can't possibly be a synecdoche for something else. Anyway, as I was saying... right, so... hang on, we only have... I think we only have... Hawkshaw left to interrogate, don't we? Yes, it's only Hawkshaw left. Okay. So, we're gonna look around for music. And the first place to go is where we've got the gramophone. And I think... Oh, okay, hang on. Oh, hang on, no, actually, I think we need to need to go to the other tower, because I think we need to hear it straight from the pianist. Nope.
It's a globe.
For globing.
Hello, how are you doing? Happy Friday. Okay, guys, I think we can forgive Fitz for his infidelity. Yeah, I kind of didn't want to say that. We kind of hinted at it last stream with the flower, but I kind of wanted you to at least have a little bit of a reason to maybe suspect Fitz. We're gonna ask... Actually, we need to ask about all this stuff anyway.
I'm sure I've seen it in her room before.
That's where we found it.
Have you ever read it? Do you know what's written in there?
Nope. I'm sure she wouldn't appreciate me invading her privacy.
I thought you and Fifi were close friends.
Yeah, we are. It's just Fifi's gotten kinda impatient with me recently.
Do you know why?
I'm not sure.
I'm sure she'd tell you if you asked.
Oh, she would. She'd give it to me straight. Probably why I've been avoiding it.
Not too bad, I got my COVID boost yesterday. Yeah, I had mine on Wednesday, and that was why I didn't stream yesterday, because I had both my COVID booster and my flu shot, and it really knocked me, out. Thankfully feeling a bit better now.
Gardening troll?
Yeah, I think it belongs to Fitz.
Really? Huh. Never seen him use it. I see a lot of birds up in the rooftop garden. They seem to really like it up there.
Why's that?
It's quiet.
Do you know where those earmuffs came from?
I put them there.
Why?
I found them lying around. I think they belong to Fitz. I put them on the statue so he'd see them. I thought they looked like headphones. Like he's in the recording studio with his guitar. No?
If they do belong to Fitz, he hasn't taken them back yet. When did you find them?
This morning.
Where?
I don't know, in a hallway. Can't remember exactly.
Had a flu shot a few weeks ago and didn't seem to suffer any for it. I usually don't, but I think maybe it was just a combination this time.
Where did you find this?
It was in the attic.
Oh, huh. I forgot we even had an attic. How sweet. Did you find that in Fifi's room?
No. Should we have?
No, it's just... It looks like something she'd use, don't you think?
Everyone keeps suspecting that's Fifi's. Interesting. Now I believe... ask you to play...
Yeah, it's mine.
What's so special about it?
Oh,
got it.
no, I
How
didn't
long
mean
have
to
you
ask
been
you
from
that.
the day I turned 6? I was really excited to start. When I arrived at my set, I hadn't asked permission for 2 whole years.
Was Freya any good?
She, but one
Why?
day, that's just it. There was no... That's when I realized things were different.
Can you play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. Music slaps. Yeah, so the crab reacts to the music and it will give us a shape. Now, the game actually is very nice here, where it actually will remember the shape. So I don't think we need to make note of it, but it's sort of a Space Invaders-y type shape. Kind of like an M with 2 dots. So that's piano. And where else do we have music? Trying to remember now where we have the rest of it. Would the birds count that? Actually, let's, before we go, they could be. I don't recall, but I think we gotta go and check the, should go and check here, because I can tell you this
Still
now.
not sure about this thing.
Should we take another look?
Because I believe... Yeah, so here, what we need to do is we need to find all of these and match them up with the symbols that the crab gives us. And again, the game is very nice here that it actually shows us the symbol, so we don't even need to remember it. But here's obviously this one represents the piano, and it gives us this symbol, which obviously matches this one. So we've got a bell, we've got mouth, and we've got birds. So yeah,
Let's
you
come back later.
were totally right. We need to go and check the birds. I just wanted to double check what the symbols were, but you were 100% correct.
They're bird cages, but the birds are coming and going freely.
Is that a metaphor?
Oh, it totally is.
An especially fancy cage.
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds.
This is about how we get him to sing for us.
I must say the girls are awfully well behaved today. I think they know we're in the presence of company.
They belong to you? Why do you keep them in a cage?
They need a special diet, particular treatment. I let them out to fly occasionally, of course. But they're all one of a kind. I couldn't let anything happen to them.
Do they have names?
Of course. Let me introduce you to Tabitha, Tamara, and Tatiana.
I've already forgotten all 3 of those names.
Which one is which?
Oh, that's simple. Tatiana is the oldest, Tabitha is the most patient, and Tamara has the best sense of rhythm.
Glad we cleared that up.
What about the one on your head?
On my head? He's just my hat. He doesn't have a name. Who would name their hat? Is that for sewing?
Maybe?
We have no idea.
It's that bird. But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad. I don't know what that is.
Maybe we have to get them from a garden. There are birds in the garden too.
Trees. On a roof.
In a garden.
In a garden. On a roof.
Need to get him to sing for us somehow. I do love the way that they've made the birds just like an orb with eyes and a beak. Oh, you're right. You are right. That could be it. Let's go and check. I wish I'd remember this bit. Because I've completely forgotten this. Yeah, I don't know how to trigger it, but I feel like there must be a way.
My little writing desk.
There's nothing written in the book. Although,
My little writing.
there's nothing written in the book.
Hmm.
I don't like mirrors.
How do you...
I do by weight. I can feel it.
Looks a little simple for Poppy, doesn't it? Thought she was a grade 12 or something.
I didn't know there were that many grades.
I'm sure they invented some new ones just for her.
Hmm. Might have
I
to.
must say the girls are awfully well behaved.
I think they know they belong to you.
I'm gonna take a quick look and see. So I don't get too stuck on this. I cannot remember. Alright, so I've got it here. We're just gonna take a. Right, so I think we're barking up the wrong tree. So I'm glad I checked that. But we first gotta go outside. Because there is a bell here that I completely forgot about. There we go. I have no idea. I never studied any instruments, so I couldn't tell you what it's like in Sweden. So actually, I have no clue. There we go. There's these birds. And then finally... this creepy tape. It's very creepy tape.
Weird.
It's someone humming a tune.
And there we are.
That's all 4 melodies, I think.
So, what do we do with them?
Should we go back to the gardens again?
We should go back to the gardens again. Because yeah, this now we've looped
Let's
around
try
all the
this
way to the
again.
beginning. This was the first puzzle we saw, and we couldn't do anything about it. Now,
You know, I think we might
oh,
be...
pardon me, I skipped that. Now we just gotta match these up.
That's gotta be right.
Nothing. Maybe it's broken.
Wait, do you hear that?
Let's go into this scary monster mouth.
Are we gonna go in?
Yeah, but there's a couple of things I want to do first.
Yeah, so we've got one more suspicion to get. But maybe we're gonna get that later. So I think to get that, we need to ask everything for everyone. We need to check off all the clues.
That blade.
It's a troll for gardening.
It is. What a mess. Penelope should tidy up after herself.
These weren't dropped by Penny. They were dropped by birds, I think.
My argument stands.
What's wrong?
Earmuffs do not go on statues.
Is this yours, Fifi?
I do not recognize it. And besides, I would have no use for such a thing. Perhaps it could be used to hang wet laundry?
Was that a joke?
Yes.
I love her.
Freya
Yes.
drew these.
Yeah, I think so. There's a note on the back.
But she never showed them to me.
Well, I think it was a gift for your mother, like a private thing between Freya and Flora.
This belongs to Professor Pointer, does it not?
No, I don't think so.
Who else would own such a pointless little telescope?
It's a telescope.
Oh, yes. It has a telescopic lens. It could only be used for looking at things that are far away.
Well, isn't that interesting? Because that isn't what Hawkshaw told
There's
us.
something about Hawkshaw's handheld microscope. Something suspicious.
So that is why everyone kept saying that that looked like Fifi's, to kind of lead us to check in with
Let's ask
her.
her about it.
Book her, boys. Right, it's finally time to tell you you're a sus,
This little
lady.
microscope thing? You said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense, if you knew what my client had asked me to find. Of course, I still have no intention of disclosing that information.
You're such a tease, Hawkshaw. Don't worry, we already worked out what you're searching for.
You're not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So, that's what you were looking for in the
Thanks.
greenhouse? This beetle?
Oh,
Surely
grim.
even you can understand the logic of it. The greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
Well, Fitz said you questioned him, but didn't actually search the greenhouse.
He is not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse. It's not a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert on microscopes.
The handle microscope.
The handheld microscope, according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. I'm inclined to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
Hawkshaw, why did you lie about owning a telescope?
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
A detective? Naturally.
Emperor of the Galaxy?
I wanted to be an astronomer.
Really?
I harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider universe. A fool's errand, to be sure, but a seductive one. At 15, I decided instead to apply my intelligence to the world around me, and so I became a detective. But the yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Sorry, but we're way off track. What's the deal with the little telescope?
A memento from my childhood. Little more than a toy.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me, I dared to consider it something of a planetary alignment. I had hoped he might sign my telescope. An extremely childish indulgence, I admit.
I never would have guessed.
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
So, who is your suspect?
Things have become complicated. My lead suspect is your murder victim.
Are we done?
Okay.
For now. It's about time we found out what's beneath the garden.
Right. Well, she confirmed that she's hired by Pointer. We got that at least. Ready to go.
Where do you think it goes?
Down.
Let's go. Let's fucking go. underneath. Ominous. Oh, great, it's a creepy lab. Great. So happy about that.
Hand-drawn entomology charts.
Yeah, I should say if you have a problem with insects, you shouldn't worry because this is about as realistic as they get. But if you are very concerned about insects, like even cartoonish representations of them, then yeah, just be wary of that. But we're not going to see any up-close photorealistic insects in this game. But they are going to be on about this level. Very kind of cartoony.
Bugs. Big ones.
I really don't like the idea of them being that big. Look at how big they are. Oh, gross. Very gross.
A candle, perched on a barrel.
Very medieval.
I was thinking pirates.
Medieval pirates.
What's in there?
Yeah, this is about as bad as they're gonna get. But just be aware.
9 beetles, all different, all dead.
Poor little guys.
There's a bunch of notes written all around them. It's mostly numbers. No idea what they mean. 9 beetles, all different. It's mostly numbers. It's a little diagram of a beetle with some incomprehensible notes scribbled next to it.
That's weird.
What?
It looks really normal compared to the beetles behind the glass.
9 beetles. It's mostly numbers. It looks like they're being boiled, but the liquid is ice cold. A cracked glass tank with 9 little rooms. Each one has 1 or 2 insects inside. I can't tell if they're still alive.
I like that you called them rooms.
It's so dark. I can barely tell what I'm looking at.
Is it locked?
Seems likely, doesn't it?
Right.
I'm pretty sure the latches can slide into the middle.
Diagonally slide the latches until they're in the correct position. This is a little bit of a tricky one. So yeah, we've got to create... You can see how you create like a little path here. So that's what we want to do. We want to create a path using these little latches. So that's time to fiddle. And that's the only one that can, so it has to be, because that's the only one that can touch that bit. No, that's not going to be it, is it? That's... Yeah. I say that looks about right. This Leighton-esque music really helps. Does make you feel like you're... Does really help the brain mush operate for me. No, that just interrupts it. Hang on. The other blue. Now it goes round here. Doesn't catch anything now. Yeah, this has to be right because that's the only one that touches the beginning, and that touch goes there. Maybe the green is... Yeah, this is a tricky one. I remember I was stuck on this for a while. I'll look up the solution if I get stuck for too long, but... I wish those fit, but they don't. First green to blue instead of orange. Oh. Can we do that? I don't think we can because they don't overlap. Like blue and green. The problem is I don't think they overlap enough. Unless... No, because the greens, they're all parallel to each other. That's the problem with those ones. Because you can't have any gaps in it. That's the tricky one. So, like for instance, this doesn't work. This up here. But I'm trying to figure out what the other option is there. Well, see if I can figure out the end bit. Because it could be either of these. Yeah, I think they can be used twice if they fit both times. Oh, hang on, here we go. Goes around there, crosses over to this one, goes down here.
I got it.
I'm impressed. Anything inside?
Yeah, more research.
Secret research. A folder containing research notes and diagrams. 1. Our unique flora and fauna is the byproduct of a number of as yet unidentified chemicals. 2. These chemicals are continually present in the water, forming clouds and filling the lake. This causes a variety of mutations in plants and animals. 3. Smaller creatures such as arachnids, insects, mollusks, amphibians, and crustaceans are the most affected. However, the chemicals may travel up the food chain and cause mutations in birds and reptiles. As far as we know, mammals remain completely unaffected.
Who Whose research is this?
Very good question.
This is some seriously in-depth research.
That's impressive, but it's incomplete. There's a section missing.
Is it though? Is it missing?
So, this is Pointer's secret lab.
Definitely seems like he's the one using it.
I guess not a lot of people know about the secret entrance.
Right. But if Pointer's the only one who comes down here, why would he need to lock his research in a safe? Who's he hiding it from?
He's just paranoid, especially about his golden beetle.
What do you think he's trying to do exactly?
As everyone knows, all research has 4 parts. Yes, that's true. All research is always done in quadrants. They're always quadrilogies. Quadrilogies? Right. Pointer.
Pointer has been trying to breed the golden beetle in the underground laboratory.
Why? Because it's rare?
Because it's gold?
Is that it?
I think so. I don't think he cares about entomology any more than he cares about astronomy. He just wants to get one over on Felix. If he can breed his own gold, suddenly Poppy's inheritance is looking pretty,
Infinite. Might explain why he was so worried about losing the beetle. Maybe somebody did steal it.
Might have been Freya after all. We know she was trying to get through the secret door in the garden.
She might not have known what was down here, though. Maybe she was just curious.
Curious, sure, but not naive. I reckon she knew what was going on.
I think we're still missing the bigger picture. There's no way this is all just about a beetle. We're done.
Ready to go down? Again?
I do like, on the one hand, I do like that the game handholds a little bit so that you don't get stuck in one place. But there are some would appreciate if it didn't just say constantly kind of drag you along. Like I think with the puzzle to get into the underground, kind of wish that you had to at least remember the symbols yourself, that kind of thing. But at the same time, it's like an anti-frustration feature. I just wish it can be turned off, really. That you could have one or the other. Like I think hint systems. I think any kind of adventure games should have a hint system if you can, but it should always be optional. This golden beetle would grow by transmuting the base minerals in its food into gold. I think that's sort of the what they're saying is that because it all ends up in the water, then they mutate and evolve to. Because they said something like the beetle is made out of 90% gold or something. For some reason, it reminds me of how in Alien they say that the xenomorph is silicon based instead of carbon based. So I guess it's that, but with minerals. Who knows? Right, we've got another creepy little area. This is like a weird under lake area because we've got water dripping.
It's an old coat rack. Looks thoroughly neglected.
2 cloaks, and a green hat draped on top for good measure.
Do these puddles worry you?
Why?
That's lake water, but it's indoors.
Ah, I see your point. Gives off kind of a dungeon vibe.
What do people actually use chains for?
Nothing good.
Old cardboard boxes.
How exciting.
Oh, but there's more. They're also damp and empty. Basements don't normally have windows.
We're at the bottom of the lake. We must be.
Right. But if that's the lake bed, why does it look like that?
Like what?
White, smooth, no plants, no anything. That's not what a lake looks like.
The game's ESRB rating does not allow a full explanation of the chains. Yeah, let's just leave it. Leave it at that, shall we? We're gonna look around before we've talked to Sally.
Makeshift table.
This is creeping me out slightly.
Why?
I think it's a children's book.
It's never good. Children's book. Mists of the Sea and Sky, a children's picture book. It looks very old. The ink dip, an elegant bird with red and white plumage. The silver snake, an aquatic reptile with no eyes and a long tongue. The soul bearer, a crab with three differently sized claws. The amphobe, a frog-like creature walking on two legs. Now that kind of reminds me of someone we know. Frog-like creature that walks bipedally. Just saying.
It's an empty bookcase.
Something tells me it's been empty for a long time. We're too late. This photograph has been stabbed.
Why? By what?
Not sure. Some kind of metal stabbing thingy.
Metal rod. A sleek but sturdy metal rod. It has been stabbed into a photograph. The rod has a curved and pointed tip like an arrow or the hand of a clock. It has a small loop at the back with a short length of red rope connected to it. The metal is perfectly clean and polished.
So what's the photo?
Damaged photo. It's been framed but it is slightly damped. The photograph shows a young girl. A large man is sitting next to her. Around them are several red and white birds. A metal object was stabbed into the photo, leaving a hole near the man's chest. Yes, it does look like it, doesn't it?
Do you know who it is in the photo?
Let's start with the lake.
Did you notice how much light this room has? For a room with one candle?
It's all coming through the window.
I'm pretty sure lakes are supposed to be darker at the bottom, not lighter.
Why is there a room down here anyway? And why is it so much older than the rest of Tangle Tower?
We still don't really know why people came to live here in the first place.
Maybe they just wanted to get rich, like Pointer with his beetles.
I feel like the Remingtons came here for the lake, for what was in it.
It's empty though. More empty than a normal lake would be.
It is now, yeah. Maybe we're too late.
And the rope on the one end is used to pull it back up after. Yeah, that is a very valid hypothesis.
In the photo, he reminds me of something from one of our clues.
Now, I don't recall exactly which clue we're looking at, but...
That's not right.
No, I thought not.
Felix made a little
There we
model
go.
thing for Flora.
Yeah, makes sense when you know who he is. Lord Fellow.
Really?
Wait, no, hang on.
Oh, hang on,
Felix
sorry.
made a little model of him.
Yeah, makes sense when you know who he is. Lord Remington.
Remington. That makes him Flora's father. Meaning the girl in the photo is...
Yeah, it's her. See the bird, too.
I never would have guessed. Times sure do change.
I don't know. I don't think she looks so different.
We're getting closer.
Oh,
How exciting.
and empty.
There's a roll of paper up there.
I'll see if I can reach it.
Let me guess. Blank.
Study. Wait.
I know what you're thinking. And no, we never went in there.
Now, isn't that interesting?
How did we miss it?
Yeah, if we look at this, here we've got the rooftop garden underneath here, so this would be Poppy's bedroom, that's Fitz's bedroom, and there's apparently a study in between them. Actually, sorry, no, this will be Fitz's bedroom. That will be Poppy's bedroom. This will be Penelope's bedroom, and I think that's... Is that Freya's bedroom? I don't remember. But either way, there's a study here that we have not seen or heard about before.
This seems pretty significant.
Agreed.
Building plans, Misted Mansion, north side cross section. A roll of parchment on which the plans for a grand mansion has been drawn. A horizontal line marks where the lake was before, and a second marks where it is now. The mansion has been built on top of a large structure above the lake, supported by pillars. Freya's room is listed as storage. Oh yeah, it was Freya's room. Yeah, that's because what they were saying before didn't look like it was a bedroom. A room labeled study is in the center. Especially not in a secret study.
Let's head back up to the Grand Hall. I want to find that last room.
Let's. And it's become dark.
Wow, it's dark all of a sudden.
How long were we down there?
This must be it. This thing goes all the way up.
How are we supposed to get up there?
Hang on, it's pitch black, but I think there's a switch.
Time to pull the switch.
A ladder.
Want to go up?
Right, secret study time. The hidden heart. Yeah, now this brings to mind some stuff we've seen in the previous game.
You know, in any normal room, this thing would be my main concern. In here, though, it barely makes the top 3. Dragon?
Snake?
Worm?
That's the one. An axe and some kind of hunting rifle, mounted on the wall.
Honestly, doesn't look like they've been moved in a few years.
I'm more worried about the third one.
The third one?
The one that isn't there.
Coffee table, half-empty wine bottle, lamp left on. And I'm gonna say someone's been using this room.
It's a little
Someone
bit
complacent
tense.
enough to leave their notebook lying around.
Bit tense. Notebook. Several pages have been ripped out, but few remain. 5th ambassador located, finally. Can't say I harbored any optimism, but still somehow disappointed. No better than the rest of them. Took my misted friend into the music room for experiments. It works. Perhaps too well. The laboratory was another disappointment. All that effort. For what? He's even more short-sighted than I could have guessed. Went to the bottom. Nice view. It's been mostly cleaned out, but I have what I need. She got in. She was careful. Nothing was moved. But I know. It's time. Okay. Another cryptic notebook.
Is that a crab?
It's got a translucent exoskeleton. You can actually see its insides.
Also, crabs normally have 2 claws, right? Not 3? Ugh.
Oh.
You sure we should be touching it?
Grimoire, don't you think it looks familiar?
I was gonna say, don't you think it looks familiar?
This crab really reminds me of something.
That little wooden toy we found?
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to help us. I think I've seen it more recently.
Yeah, we gotta look in the... I believe... Where was it? Here we go. Children's book. Right, so we're now gonna try to match this. So we've got diagonally left and then 2 diagonally right.
Is that a...
It's got a
Also, crab... I guess that's wrong.
I don't think we need
Was
to
that
guess.
not right?
What do you mean?
We have all the information we need in our case file.
Was it? I think maybe I did. Like that, maybe?
Nothing.
Oh.
Sure, I've seen this thing somewhere before. Recently, too.
Have your claws in the air like you just don't care.
Nope.
Wasn't
It's
this
a children's book.
Oh, I didn't open that.
Nope.
wasn't
What?
this
A
crab
children's book. Nope.
wasn't
What?
this
Children's book.
Hang
this
on.
crab really remind?
That
Yeah,
one.
but I think I've seen it more.
What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? The clothes were open in a pattern. Yes. Okay, that's closed. Those are open. Oh, that's straight. I thought they were both bent. That was my mistake.
Is that a
The right one is
crab?
straight.
Also, crab.
Right, so that's pointing like that, and that's open. That is bent at an angle, and it's open, and that's pointing up, and it's closed.
Perfect.
There we go. Thank you. Ooh.
What's this?
Something somebody didn't want us to find.
A crossbow.
What is it?
We're solving mysteries left and right
Someone
now.
trying to hide it from us?
I don't know, but it looks incomplete to me. I want to know what happened to the rest of it. Where are the other parts?
We found them already.
Yep, so we start with... Indeed.
I think that might attach the crossbow, but not this.
Oh, not that. Okay. Well, pardon me.
I think that might, but not this part.
Which part did I even click on? There we go.
What do you make of it?
Not sure. Let's keep an open mind.
You don't think the crossbow is the murder weapon?
Oh no, the crossbow is definitely the murder weapon. But that doesn't mean we've solved the mystery. Centipede? Millipede? How many legs has it got?
Too many.
Yes. Way too many. That make Hawkshaw the killer? Possibly. She did have the thing. It isn't boding well. She could have lied about it though. A lot of people thought that it was Fifi. That it belonged to Fifi.
Do those look like scratch marks to you? On the glass?
Yeah. They're on the inside. It's a wooden pinboard, hung up on one of the chains.
Looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
Pinboard. A large central sheet of paper has been pinned to it. 4 lines have been drawn from a gap in the center. A smaller sheet underneath features a drawing resembling the silhouette of a cloaked figure. Fascinating.
Crumpled up paper.
Is there anything written on any of it?
Not really. It's mostly blank. That's a bookcase. It's mostly empty.
What a surprise.
They called this room a study?
What would you call it?
The secret death chamber of doom. Who are all the people in this photo?
Kinda Hawkshaw.
Not sure, but it looks like someone didn't like them very much. Their eyes have all been crossed out.
Ah, group photo. A photograph in a sturdy wooden frame. It's dusty and looks several years old. A brass plaque at the base of the frame reads, "The Ambassadors of Misted Mansion." Yeah, the note there mentioned the 5th ambassador, and there are 5 of them here. The photo shows 2 women and 3 men wearing a variety of different styles of clothing. All 5 people have had their faces crudely covered with black ink.
That photo is important. I'm sure of it.
She a hired killer or something? Very
Another
good question.
photograph.
Their faces are all crossed out with some kind of black ink.
That's weird.
Oh, you think so?
No, I mean, something I just realized. Sally, did we meet any of these people here at Tangle Tower?
Well, the woman on the left looks a little like Poppy, but her style is way different. And at first I thought the guy on the top right was Felix, but now that I look at it, I don't think it is him.
We've got one more mystery to solve, and I think it's a big one.
An incinerator built into the wall. It's still pretty hot.
Is there anything left inside?
It's mostly ashes, but yeah, there's something.
Burnt items, not much more than a pile of dust and ash. Among the ashes are several black buttons. Red-colored scraps of fabric are visible. And yeah, that does look a lot like a feather.
Someone's been using this room. I don't get it. This room is in the original building plans for the mansion, but nowadays it's some big secret?
It's not a secret to everybody. At least one other person still knows about this room.
The way the notebook was left out on the table makes me think it's someone who has the room all to themselves.
Whoever it was, they left more than just the notebook. There's a whole design project on this pinboard. Feels like someone put quite a bit of effort into it.
It's a shame there are things missing from it. I'm betting it'd make more sense if we could see it all together.
That might not be impossible, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. Chat might have figured this one out already if you saw the missing space there. But let's do here. Bookshelf painting matches up with the lines. And here. Now this is one I'm not 100% sure about. There we go.
The painting from
You
Freya's
were right about the
room
painting.
and those sketches. Did Freya design Detective Hawkshaw's clothes? What kind of sense does that make?
I don't think that's why Freya made that painting, but it may have been why somebody took a photo of it to use as reference. And as for those sketches of Hawkshaw, I don't think Freya actually drew them. It was somebody else. Someone with less of a talent for art.
Doesn't exactly narrow it down. Should we go ask Detective Hawkshaw about all this?
I'm not sure. I still don't know what's really going on.
But the plot is thickening, and it's time for the murder.
Time to solve this.
Machinations of murder.
All right, break out the notebook. Time to put it all together.
Let's start with this. It's an arrow for the crossbow, and it matches Freya's wound. It's the murder weapon. I'm sure of it.
Despite the fact it doesn't have any blood on it, and it wasn't found anywhere near the crime scene.
It was cleaned, then it was hidden. I don't think anybody expected us to get down to that room at the bottom of the lake.
Okay, so Freya was shot by a crossbow. Where was it fired from?
It was fired from above Freya.
Above, huh?
Yeah, our diagram doesn't show everything. Let's add in the rest of the crime scene.
The attic.
Perfect hiding place. We even found a part of the murder weapon up there. The reel was used to pull the arrow back up through the crack in the floorboards.
Explains why we never found a weapon at the crime scene, I guess.
The murderer must have dropped the reel in the attic. I'm guessing they were in a hurry to escape.
Wait. The arrow was fired through the crack in the floorboards?
Yeah, it's directly above where Freya was found lying on her back.
Nope. Doesn't add up. It would have missed her if she was still standing up by the painting.
Ah, right.
Unless... Freya was already lying on her back before the arrow was fired.
I think so too. She'd fallen unconscious.
Something in the room caused Freya to fall unconscious.
The gramophone.
Right.
But the gramophone by itself can't do that.
There was something in the gramophone.
Mm-hmm. Something small. Pointer's research says it can emit an incredibly loud hiss when it feels threatened. Poppy and Fitz both said they heard a loud noise around the time of the murder. Neither of them had any idea what it was.
This seems a little far-fetched. Is it really loud enough to knock someone out?
No, I don't think so, not by itself. But don't forget, it was being amplified by the shape of the gramophone. And I don't think we're purely talking about volume either. It might just be a particular type of frequency.
This is getting kinda scientific. Since when do you know anything about the effects of weaponized audio frequency?
I don't, but I think someone else does. Do you remember that statue we found in the music room? The horn it's playing. It's a pretty similar shape to the one on the gramophone. That broken glass isn't there on accident. This is someone's science experiment.
Thinking about it, Pointer said he saw Flora was knocked out too. I guess they were both in range of the noise, although Pointer might have been lying.
Personally, I think he was telling the truth about that. It's pretty clear a powerful frequency did pass through Flora's tower. Caused quite a bit of damage too. Those cracks didn't appear out of nowhere. Freya's paints, the pink cassette tape, and the gramophone itself, they all sustained similar damage while they were in that room.
That's some seriously powerful vibration, enough to crack metal, enough to knock someone out all the way across a room.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't get. If the frequency was so powerful and had such a big range, how did the murderer pull it off? Wouldn't they have been in range too? Think about it. They can't have been much further away from the gramophone than Flora was.
They protected themselves.
How?
Fucking earmuffs in it. That went missing.
These are some pretty heavy-duty earmuffs. I think they'd be enough to block out the sound.
Right. Let's go over everything from the start. 1. Freya is painting Flora's portrait. They're listening to music on the gramophone.
2. The murderer is hiding in the attic, wearing earmuffs.
3. The golden beetle starts to emit its hissing noise.
Hold on. How did it know?
The beetle?
Yeah. What triggered it at that particular moment? Pointer's research said it makes the noise when it feels threatened.
Not sure. Maybe something in the music?
Maybe.
4. Freya and Flora are both knocked unconscious by the vibrations. Freya lands on her back. She drops the brush and palette by her side.
5. The murderer fires the crossbow directly downwards.
6. The arrow is pulled back up on the reel.
7. The murderer leaves the attic, presumably.
8. The door is kicked down. Fitz and Poppy enter the room.
That's it. There's something bothering me.
What?
I just want to check something. Let's go back to the crime scene.
Right, back to the where it all started. In the depths of night. Cowardly murder. Yeah, it's pretty bad, I would say. I mean, very smart. Not smart enough, though.
The plant. It's in the book.
What?
Look.
Hmm.
I can see the stars.
The answer is in the painting. I'm sure of it.
The plant. It's in the
What?
book. Look.
It's dark.
I can see the stars. I can see the stars. Freya, did you leave us a clue?
There we go. The missing clue.
So what's bothering you?
Something that's not here. The thing we didn't find. We know she was holding it during the painting.
Flora's ink dip feather?
It was here, in this room. Where'd it go?
We found it somewhere else. We were a little too late to save it.
So it was stolen from the crime scene, and ended up in the incinerator down in the study.
Someone wanted to destroy it, I guess.
But how? How was it stolen from up here in Flora's tower?
Presumably, Flora dropped it when she fell unconscious.
Yeah, and then what? The murderer couldn't have stolen it if they were up in the attic.
So the question is, how could they steal something from a room they weren't able to access? The final clue about the crime scene. Freya left it for us right here. It's in the unfinished painting. It's not quite a photo, but still, it's an image of the crime scene recorded just before the murder. If only she'd finished it, then I could be totally sure.
It's true she never finished it, but she did intend to finish it.
Meaning?
We know more about the painting than what Freya actually got down on the canvas.
Yeah, because, so I mentioned,
Freya prepared all the colors she was going to need before she started painting.
and
The yellow paint was going to be used to paint.
hello,
the
Killer Shrew.
sketch.
If you haven't, we're literally about to finish this game now, so if you don't want spoilers, we're literally maybe a minute away from the solution, so I would avoid watching the rest. I'm really glad to see you pop in. But yeah, you really want to, if you want to play this, which I recommend, I think everyone in the chat will agree that they really enjoy this game. So I think, yeah, dip out now, because we are very close to finishing this. But thank you so much for joining. We're going to play a new game next week, so I hope to see you then instead. Something yellow. Wonder what that could possibly be.
There she is. Our little thief.
How long has it been there? Did it hear the whole conversation?
She did. But she's a very good listener. Well now, I think this has quite served its purpose, don't you? It's Penelope, if you don't mind. But before we begin, isn't there a certain formality demanding our attention? Lovely. Now, tell me, what was it that drove you this far? I'm ever so curious.
Justice for Freya.
Is that right? Interesting.
Why did you do it, Penny? What did Freya do to you?
Absolutely nothing.
So, what? You just hated her indiscriminately?
Freya Fellow was an inspiration to us all. She was possessed of a great energy. The volition to create something from nothing. the willpower to walk beyond her boundaries. She was truly free. Everything I couldn't be.
You know what? I just realized I actually have no idea who Penelope Pointer really is.
Weird, isn't it? Considering we've met her, what is it, 3 times now?
Exactly. How do we know this one isn't a disguise too?
You think you've already hollowed us out, don't you? Only a few short hours at Tangle Tower, and you feel like you've got everyone sussed. Unearthed every single
You're all
one of our
sussed.
secrets. Nothing but bullet points for your notebook. Go on, indulge me.
Thank you,
What
Starfucker.
does it say in your notes about Penelope Pointer?
Thank you, Charble Garble. How are you? Yeah, you came. Fia press his butt up to the camera just in time. Hello, hello.
I suppose I can't argue with that, can I?
Penny, we only know what you choose to tell us, so why not help us out?
Very well. Penelope Pointer is actually not very important at all. She pales in comparison to those who came before her and to those that came after. Living at Tangle Tower, it is very difficult to attain the levels of self-realization you probably take for granted.
You sure this is a Tangle Tower thing, and not a you thing?
Perhaps you didn't notice. Not one of them is happy, not one.
So why stay? Why not just leave?
I thought she did leave. Penny, you said you traveled, didn't you?
I did. Many times I've walked away. It did not help me. You saw the family tree hanging in the grand hall, did you not?
Yeah, it lists a bunch of people who don't live here anymore.
A bunch of people who don't live here anymore. I couldn't have put it better myself. My mother, for one. My father, too. The other 2 Remingtons. Poppy's mother, Primrose. And her brother, Richard.
And Fitz's father.
That's 5. 5 people that might have lived here, but don't.
And that was the first question I wanted answered.
You wanted to know where they'd all gone?
More than that, I wanted to know if I belonged with them. I have no place here. Not among the Fellows, the Remingtons, or the Pointers. But I felt there must be a reason why everyone else left. Some common purpose they all shared. Perhaps it could be my purpose too.
So, what did you actually do about it?
Nothing I could do, at first. Nobody would tell me anything. The more questions I asked, the fewer answers I got. Then, I found it. I was 19. Same age Freya is now.
Found what?
I just noticed that Charble, it's been a year. Thank you so much. Yeah. Found the study.
Study. The one hidden in the middle of the house. It's right next to a bedroom.
I'd hear voices at night. Deep ones. And the strangest thing, the wall behind my bed would get incredibly hot. For hours on end. The paint would peel. Wallpaper wouldn't stay up.
She did say
Thought I was
is.
cursed.
I noticed
I
that
thought
too.
it was something trying to break through. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. I found my way in the same way you did. Once you know it's there.
Oh, hello. Maybe a
So,
cat.
got
Thank
into
you
the
for
study,
following.
Found the incinerator.
How are
Must have
you
been a relief,
doing?
right?
It was still
Hello.
warm when I found it. Then
Welcome to the channel.
I looked inside.
We're kind of finishing off this game, so if you don't want to see the end to Tangle Tower, you should kind of leave. But if you're already here, that's a year of streaming. Yeah, it's been almost exactly a year. I started in November of last year, so it's just been over a year. But I found out actually, Twitch did send me a message that next week is my official anniversary because I actually started the account before I started streaming. So next week there's going to be some kind of like anniversary thing on the channel, which I don't really know how that works, but that happens automatically. I'm alright, taking a break from reading. I've played this game before. I've got spoiled immunity. Great. Did you find me through the game tag then? I'm sorry if I'm not recognizing your nickname, if I know you from somewhere else. Well, thank you so much for joining. I hope you're gonna enjoy the ending at least with us.
Let's see how thorough you've been. Tell me, do you know what a misted is?
Misted?
Mistids? Sure, yeah.
You're more observant than I thought.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
It's a collective term from before my time. Birds, insects, amphibians, anything living off the lake water. The mutation can take several generations, or it can happen overnight.
Wait, mistids, like cryptids, like Bigfoot or whatever.
A little egregious, isn't it? I suspect that was an intentional parallel. The main difference being mistids are perfectly real. They're just kept secret. Or at least, that was the original plan. As it happens, some got out. Quite a few got out.
How do you know all this?
When I entered the study at 19, I found a single object that rather changed my life. Something which answered my questions while at once creating all new ones.
Could that be...
That's not it.
Then I should remember what this is.
That's not right.
The 5 missing family members standing together as a single unit, calling themselves the ambassadors of Misted Mansion.
So, the house was renamed from Misted Mansion to Tangle Tower?
And rightly so. The age of Misted Mansion is long past. When I looked inside the incinerator on my first visit to the study, I found nothing but ash. The afterimage of a bygone era denied to me in its entirety. The study, the room at the bottom of the lake itself, all empty shells. I felt my only hope lay with the ambassadors. If I could find them, maybe they'd share the family history that Flora and the others were trying so hard to forget.
How did you track them down?
It was tough. They'd taken almost everything. Books, maps, charts, the creatures themselves, all lost, taken away or destroyed. But I got lucky. I got a lead. I found one, and he led me to the rest.
And? What happened? Why'd you paint out all their faces?
They didn't help you either, did they?
19-year-old me had imagined they'd all left with a mission, a unified purpose, but they hadn't. They were, in fact, every bit as fractured as the people that still live here. Most of them had left tracking escaped mistids. Some claimed to be researchers, others little more than hunters. All 5, completely useless to me.
Yeah, really good point here. Our like text being revealed slowly like that lets you enjoy the voice acting more. I think that's a really nice little touch because you can't then read ahead of the voice acting, so you don't sort of psychologically get ahead of the acting, and I think it really adds to it. I would also like to say, someone else can look this up, but the actor who does Penelope, I think it's really impressive that I think Dappling mentioned earlier that it was the same actor for Hawkshaw and Penelope, but she manages to get them to get the voices so different that you don't assume that one voice is being put on. And now that her disguise has been revealed, she's kind of creating a voice that's right between the voices she was using before. Tiana Camacho, okay, thank you. But like the voice she's talking in now, which is presumably her real voice, is like right between the 2 voices she was using before, and it's so well done, and it's like you don't even really notice it, but it's really impressive, I think.
Even your own parents?
Eventually, I returned to Tangle Tower. I had nowhere else to go. I considered giving up. But instead, I made a decision.
Hello. Hello, come on.
There was only one person at Tangle Tower still of interest to me. My dear Uncle Pointer had suddenly made a show of taking up astronomy. A fairly superficial charade. I don't think many people were fooled by it. But I knew it wasn't just a falsehood. It was a mask. Pointer had found something from the era of Misted Mansion.
So where did he get the beetle?
I cannot be sure. But I theorize that he received it in the
You
post.
want to sit down?
In the post? From who?
Who can say? Someone outside Tangle Tower. But the thought that he would be in contact with such a person, all that time, I decided to take what was owed to me.
So you stole it.
No, baby.
Stealing the beetle turned out to be only the first step. Upon realizing it was gone, Pointer made little effort to disguise his frustration. I asked what was bothering him. He foresaw no risk in sharing a little of the truth with his niece. He told me he'd lost a rare treasure, something he'd been keeping safe. I suggested, innocently, that perhaps it was not lost. Perhaps it had been stolen. He was very ready to believe he'd been the victim of theft. When I offered to call in a private detective, he jumped on the idea. She arrived the next day. Hawkshaw prides herself on her punctuality, as you know.
Why, though? Why go through all that? The name, the costume, and everything?
It's somewhat sad to admit, but I had little use left for Penny Pointer as she was. Hawkshaw afforded me new advantages, opportunities.
But didn't you have to pretend to be working for Professor Pointer?
Well, that was one of the advantages. Pointer was in such a desperate state, he was finally willing to share some of his secrets. On the second day, Hawkshaw explained she needed to be able to search the secret laboratory. Pointer gave in and gave me the code for the harp statue. Reluctantly, but still.
So, you stole Pointer's research?
I would have done, if I'd found anything worth stealing. But he had made remarkably little progress, barely scratching the surface of the beetle's true mystery.
Which is?
It carries an exoskeleton approximately 90% identical to gold. But it's not the 90% I'm interested in. Did you ever question what exactly makes the water here so unique? Before Misted Mansion was built over the lake, before the lake was even a lake, Lord Remington and his wife built a small structure here, a research station, supposedly. Fast forward 2 or 3 generations, and as you saw for yourself, it's been mostly cleared out.
The ambassadors took everything when they left.
And everything they didn't take was burned in the incinerator. However, possessing additional insight, I found something the others had missed. It's not much, but I have what I need.
So, why isn't this the end of the story? Why did you stay? Why did you kill Freya?
We're getting very close. The will of Freya Fellow.
Simply put, Freya was too good for me. It's my fault. I pushed her over the edge, unknowingly, but still, I take the blame.
What are you talking about?
Did you know I based the design for Hawkshaw on something Freya painted?
We do.
That's right. I had assumed it was purely abstract. I just thought it had a good energy. I later discovered it was a figure of some kind, something from Freya's recurring nightmare. For all her vitality, I think Freya was probably the most troubled of all of us. She was desperate to leave Tangle Tower, but she couldn't just walk away. For quite some time, she'd been trying to break into Pointer's laboratory. Freya and her friends were halfway through deciphering those symbols on the harp statue, I believe.
Why did she care about getting into Pointer's lab?
That's exactly what I wondered. At first, I thought perhaps she just wanted to free the beetles. She has a fondness for them. What Pointer was doing upset her significantly. But in fact, I think it was something else. I think she wanted to free Fiona. The real reason Freya was unable to leave Tangle Tower is that she could not get Fiona to agree to come with her. We're now firmly in the realm of speculation, but I think Freya felt that exposing the darker secrets of Tangle Tower, not just to the rest of the family, but to the world, would compromise all three families, and perhaps, somehow, free Fiona from the shackles of her inheritance. That was her plan anyway, but something happened before Freya could find her way into Pointer's laboratory.
She found her way into your study, found your notes, found that photograph. I'm willing to bet she put it all together quicker than we did.
So she worked out what had happened to the 5 ambassadors. Specifically, what you'd done to them when they refused to help you.
Freya had made a promise to paint Flora as a birthday gift, a parting gift no less. She'd be in a locked room, several hours away from her friends. It was my best chance.
But why hide in the attic? And why bother with the beetle at all?
The beetle in the gramophone wasn't for Freya. It was for Flora. She didn't deserve to be involved. She suffered enough. I couldn't get Flora out of her room, but if she could be unconscious, then she wouldn't have to witness anything.
Why the knife? The illusion of the painted knife with the blood.
That was for Fiona. And Poppy too, I suppose. Gave them something to focus on.
You mean it distracted them while you made your escape?
It helped them cope. The very idea of something abstract, something supernatural. I believe it made things marginally less painful for them, initially. Worked on you, too.
So why are you still here? Why not take your first chance and leave?
Well, I've been waiting for an opportunity to get my beetle back. I'd really rather not leave without it.
Wait, it's still here?
It's still inside the gramophone.
That's what triggered it. Yeah, it was indeed. That was how it ended for Freya. And here suddenly we're at the lake.
What's going on?
Poppy, they are both awake.
I can see.
You two all right?
My head hurts. What happened to us?
You were both unconscious. 14 minutes by my count.
Really?
You're both fine. No injuries.
Was it the beetle? In the gramophone? I heard it through the ceiling in my room.
The exact same sound we heard before the murder.
I guess it must have been.
So how did we get down here? What happened to Penny?
Fitz saved both of you, obviously.
When I reached Flora's tower, you were both unconscious, and Penny was crouched down beside you. She had her crossbow on her, but who knows? She may have just been checking you were both asleep.
Did you know that she was the murderer?
Poppy and Fifi suspected her. Apparently, they were pretty close to solving it themselves.
Fitz did not want to believe us, because he liked Penny. A lot.
But what happened? Fitz, what did she do when she saw you?
She jumped out the window.
What? Did she survive?
She did.
I heard something land in the garden outside my room, but by the time I got out there to check, she was already gone.
Hang on. Poppy, why do you have Penny's hat bird?
She left him behind. I found him sitting on the floor in the aviary, all by himself. Poor little thing. The mean lady didn't care about you at all, did she? No, she didn't.
I apologize. Poppy seems to be under the illusion that the bird can understand human language.
So, Penny got away.
Love Fitz's little
I'm afraid
smile.
she did.
We had suspected she might try to escape.
Yeah, exactly.
I was stationed here by the lake's edge. I proved to be an ineffective guard. She took the boat.
Did she take the beetle with her?
Nope,
How do you know?
because it's right here.
There it is.
It was still in the gramophone. I guess I scared her off before she had a chance to take it.
Poppy, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to give it back to your father?
No, I'm not. It doesn't belong to anyone. So, I'm going to put it on the ground and never bother it again. I think that's what she would have wanted.
And that's it. That's how the game ends. Fitz turned out to be 100% innocent and in fact saved our lives. So chat was right about him all along. I just didn't really want to confirm it too early. But hell yeah, valid Fitz all the way. And that's how the game ends. I will say, I like this game a lot. I hope you have liked this game too. I do think maybe the ending is a little bit rushed, possibly. I do think that some of this information could have been doled out a little bit earlier. It's very sort of back heavy with all of the with how all of it all ties together. I think it maybe could have been sort of woven into the earlier parts of the game a bit more. But honestly, I like it, and I think honestly, the way that it ties together the locker room mystery, which are very difficult to do, it does it in a satisfying way. And there it goes. It takes off. All of this nonsense for that one little bug, and it's gone. We still love her. Yeah. That's Tangle Tower. I'm actually gonna turn that all the way off, and I'm gonna move us over to the end screen. Thank you all so much for joining me for that game. I hope you had a good time with it. I'm gonna pop us over to a raid. I really like this game. I haven't announced what's gonna be on next week's stream, but it's a big one. This is one that I think I've wanted to do for a long time, and I'm very excited about. Some of you in the chat will know this already because I told it to you personally. On Tuesday, we're going to play Undertale. We're going to start playing Undertale, and we're going to play. That's going to be the game that we end the year on. We're going to do a true pacifist run of Undertale. If you watched my back in the day, about 3 years ago, I did a run of Undertale in Swedish. We're gonna redo it again because it's new. It's a new channel. Everything's proper. We're playing Undertale again, and that starts on Tuesday. I am extremely excited about that because it is maybe my favorite game of all time. Literally, I've had letters addressed to me using the name Robin Undertale. So it's a game that means a lot to me, and I can't wait to share it with all of you. I am going to raid you off to my friend Damien, who is currently playing Golden Axe. I've raided off to Damien a couple of times before. So please... I'm excited to see what happens after the spider boss. Well, we're going to show the whole thing. And we're going to do the spider boss. I'm going to do the spider boss trick. And I'm going to show all the stuff. 8 of you are going to see Damien now. Please say hi to him. And thank you so much for the people who subscribed, and for the new followers, and for everyone who's been watching and who's been hanging around the whole time. It means so much to me. I don't know why you do it, but I appreciate it so much. Anyway, thank you for watching Tangle Tower with me, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.